notes. I'm going to go over most of it today. In the second half of the class, you're going to be working on your packet. We'll do a couple quizzes. We'll see some segment 2 specific videos, and then you're out. I want to welcome you in. We're talking about risk awareness. Why should young drivers be concerned? You're young drivers. You should be concerned because in your age group, you have more crashes. You spend more time in the car than you do at home, in your bed, and at school. So you really want to listen to this. First, I'm going to applaud you. You made it, but you're just starting your journey. Risk is the chance of death, injury, or loss. And it is present every time a person operates a motor vehicle. It's present for me, it's present for your mom, it's present for your dad. It's more present for you. And here's why. 1 in 9 of you, or 11% of 16-year-old drivers, will have a serious crash before his or her 17th birthday. And some people are 18 taking driver's ed. Some people are in their 20s, 30s, 40s. So if you don't have this level 1 experience, you're kind of going out there with very little experience. Approximately 1 in 7, or 14% of young drivers, will be involved in a crash during the first 3 years of driving. So the odds are against you that you will be involved in a crash during the first 3 years. But this class is designed to help you, to prepare you, and to allow you to positively manifest. So as I'm going along, you need to put questions in, and you need to be highlighting some points. If you're not sure of something, you put a question mark. Let me finish this, and then we'll go back and I'll give you a driver's ed example. I'll give you a young driver example. I'll give you a real life example, and I will always be honest with you. For 16 and 17-year-olds, the risk of crash involvement is at a lifetime high during the first 6 months of unsupervised driving. What are you going to do? You won't have on your seatbelt. You're going to have more people in the car. You're going to drive really fast through the school zone. You're going to try to show off for your friends. So those things are against you, right? We're trying to reduce the odds so you can get to 18, you can get to 19, you can get to 20, you can get to 25, right? So you got to really listen to this and apply some common sense themes. Approximately 53 young drivers are involved in a fatal crash each year. Each year, approximately 25,700, or 1 in 8. There are over 20 of you in here. 1 in 8 of you between 16 and 17, or 19 and 20, or 21 and 24. You can keep going up. Will be involved in a serious crash. Okay? Let's keep it moving. Every 2 miles driven, the average driver makes 400 observations. You're looking. 40 decisions. And 1 mistake. You backing up. You almost hit the garage. Ooh, thank God. You ran a light. A person ran out. Ooh, thank God. You merged out on the freeway and you forgot to check your blind spot. You almost got sideswiped by a semi-truck. Whoa. We all make mistakes. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Let's keep going. Again, put in questions. I'll look at those at the end. Put a Q and then a question. If you really want to learn, put in questions. Now, research says errors due to inexperience. Okay? That's the biggest thing you need to understand. Inexperience. Experience is the best thing you can do. Watching your mom and dad drive, watching your uncle or auntie drive. Learn from them. How did they deal in rain? How did they deal in snow? How did they deal in traffic? How did they deal with road rage? How did they deal with semi-trucks? How did they deal with downtown areas? Learn from them. They're your model. You've been watching them since you were 3, 4, 5. Okay? So it's really important. Good evening. Hello. Thank you. Happy Tuesday. Appreciate that. Really, really. Let's keep going. So areas of inexperience. The largest single category or driver error involves visual search. I'm doing well. You don't see a little kid walking out in front of you. You don't see when you're backing up, the car is too close and you misjudge your backup camera. You don't see when you're making a right turn, a biker. Example, when I was driving home the I-94 corridor, if I didn't check my blind spot, I would have sideswiped the car. My blind spot. I looked in my mirror, but my blind spot indicator to my right saved me. I almost turned on the blinker and went over. So it can happen to me, it can happen to you, and we're all human. So you got to get used to checking those blind spots. I know you're like, I know. Well, you don't know because you don't have enough experience yet. Let's keep going. Lack of attention to driving. Your eyes should be focused in the right direction, to the center, to the left, to the right. Check. Look. Failure to adjust speed adequately for traffic on a curve, slick surfaces. Okay, we're enjoying 70-degree weather, but it's supposed to be in the 30s next week. Don't get it twisted. Okay, you're in your shorts, tank tops, walking your little fluffy dog, but next week, boom, it's going to be cold again. So you might as well get used to those type of weather swings. We have bipolar weather, real talk. Let's keep going. Approximately 127 16 to 17-year-olds are involved in a fatal crash as a driver, passenger, or pedestrian each year. We're losing young lives. This is why states across the United States, Ohio, Texas, Florida, New York, Virginia, Connecticut, Rhode Island have changed the law to try to save your life. It's super important. Okay, put in questions before I go over to the next section. Put in questions. I'm going to pause for a second. Put in your question. Okay, come on. Okay, you guys are starting to type in those questions. Come on, put them in. Let's go. If you want to get better, you put in questions. You have a state certified instructor. You have a person with experience. I'm going to not give you the fake answer. I'm going to give you the real answer. Okay, you want someone to be honest? I'm going to be honest. I don't want you to die. Your age group dies in car accidents. There was a young man in a Camaro going down the expressway, lost control, spun around twice. His car went under a semi-truck and he died. If you don't believe me, type it in. Probably 24, 21, okay? He was going too fast. It was slick outside, lost control. His car hit the wall, spun around. A semi-truck ran over the top half of his car. He died on scene. Driver error. The semi-truck driver was doing everything they can do, and that's a life lost. So you keep doing everything right, thinking you're good, and boom, it happens. So we're not trying to negatively manifest this. I'm simply telling you the truth. Okay, give me 1 second again. Put those questions in. There are 4 blind spots, left side, right side, front and back. They don't necessarily have accidents due to blind spots. That's a category that the state police would have. I do have some data on that, but I don't want to bore you. Some of you love data. They may put road conditions were horrible. Driver was not paying attention. That's definitely crash data, police data. I don't know if they have blind spots. It could be obstruction. So you could always Google that yourself. Type in the state, type in Google Scholar, police report crash data, and that will give you data by county. Okay, if you want to get very granular, you could go data by age group. Okay, so that's a good question. Always speak truth. If I don't have that, then I don't have that, and I won't feel bad. So that's important. Always speak that truth. But I like the question. What can help with being more aware of general surroundings of blind spots? We kind of answered that question. What you need to do is look around. Your center mirror will allow you to see everything out back. Your side mirrors allow you to see everything to a 14 or 16 degree area. When you're driving, you should get used to that's kind of looking to your left, looking to your right. You remember I mentioned I was driving on I-94 corridor, and I got lazy for a moment. I almost just turned on my blinker and forgot to check my blind spot, and I almost hit a car. But I didn't because my blind spot indicator saved me. Okay? If you lose your focus, and I don't have to share this with you, if you lose your focus and just go over a lane, you could hit a car. That car was in my blind spot. If I didn't look over my shoulder, I would have sideswiped the car. Again, my blind spot indicator was on. It was lit. And then I looked to my right, there was a car right immediately past my back door. So if I looked into my mirror, it looked clear. So if you get lazy and get casual, that's when you have an accident. Then you feel bad and it's your fault. You get a ticket. Your mom and dad's insurance goes up because many of you are not paying the insurance. Your mom and dad are. Okay. A third of you work. The rest of you don't. And that's fine. So I'm sharing this honest mistake with you as an instructor. So get used to looking over your shoulder. There are 4 blind spots: left side, right side, front, and back. More people are dying in our state. They're not wearing seatbelts. They're flying out of the car. I do have some information on 0 fatalities. I will look at that and share that with you because every month I get that as a newsletter because I'm an instructor. People are reckless. There was a white Mazda 250 tailgating, cutting to the middle, cutting to the left, cutting back to the middle, cutting back to the right. They were in a hurry. That car could contribute to people hitting them. And you'll notice those drivers in a hurry to have an accident. So you'll see that. I need more questions. We had a couple questions on blind spots. What laws recently changed. Put more questions in. Okay, I'm gonna keep it moving because you have a lot to do. Okay, when do crashes occur for young drivers? This is your age group. Approximately 53% of all young driver fatal car crashes occur in daytime. Okay, daytime. Okay, you're driving in the daytime. You're probably thinking, what? In the daytime? Yes, because you have sun glare, or you're not paying attention, or you can't see the light. Next, the most dangerous time to drive for young driver fatal car crashes is that 3-hour period, 2 to 5. You're late to work, you're speeding. You're late picking up your sister from middle school, you're speeding. You're late getting home to drop her off and get back to practice, you're speeding. So there is crash potential there. So I'm showing you this to help you. You're going to see this on the test. 38% of young driver fatal car crashes happen Friday and Saturday. You're wilding out. Let's go hang out. Oh, it's warm outside. Let me do 80 on the expressway real quick. Okay, let me race this Mustang. You lost. Right? Let me race this pickup truck through the school parking lot. The principal's calling in the next day. Shaniqua, come down to the main office. Shaquavia, come down to the main office. You're laughing. I had 2 students named Shaniqua and Shaquavia. Don't laugh. May, June, and July. Those 3 months are the most dangerous for young driver fatal car crashes. Again, May, June, and July. You need to really be aware. You need to really think because you're almost done with school. You're chilled. You got a job. So you got to really be aware. You got to slow your roll down. Approximately 24% of all young driver fatal car crashes occur in the dark on unlit roads. So example, I was driving a student yesterday, night drive. He almost hit the curb to the right. If I didn't turn the wheel back and he was on his 4th drive, the car would have went up on the curb and we would have hit a pole. I'll say it again. Night drive, nervous. If I didn't turn the wheel to the left, the car would have went up on the curb and we would have hit a pole. It could happen to any of you. 19% of young driver fatal car crashes occur between 9 p.m. and midnight. We were driving to almost 11. You're sleeping, drooling on your pillow. 15% of young driver-fatal car crashes occur between midnight and 6 a.m. You have no business out past 10. Oh, bro, I'm hanging out. No, you're hanging out, getting ready to fall asleep and crash. This is why they have changed laws to help you understand this. Put in questions. Come on. I'm going to each section. Put in questions. This is your time to put in questions. Put some of those questions in. Let's go. Because you got a lot of work to do. I'll wait till all the questions get in. Again, you have a state certified driving instructor. I don't understand why I'm only getting 1 or 2 questions. I don't get it. You have a person who's highly qualified, who's friendly, who's going to help you pass your test. But if you don't put in work, and my next question to you, type in how old you are and how many hours of driving you have. Again, you type in how old you are and how many hours of driving you have. In order to be in this segment 2, you got to have 30 hours. Okay? You have to be 16 and have 50 hours and pass this test in order to take your road test. Again, type how old you are, how many hours of driving you have. Typically on the road test, how strict? They're very strict on everything. You run a light, you fail. You speed, you fail. You make a legal left turn, you fail. You bump a curb, you fail. You run a yellow light, you fail. You cut off a car and the instructor has to make an emergency maneuver, you fail. The road test is just it. You have to be almost perfect. Almost perfect. So I'm not your mom and dad. I'm not driving with you. If you're used to driving really fast and reckless, then you're going to drive fast and reckless on your test. Yeah, it's going to tell yourself, slow down, slow down. But when that speed limit is 50, you're going to be going 55, 57, 62. You might get 1 warning. Okay? You have to be almost 17. Let's keep going.
So, I have a question.
Type it in for me.
Oh, okay.
Let's keep it going. Just type it in. Okay, we're going to go over everything. Okay, we're going to go over everything. Okay, at the end of the day, if you have to be out past 10, you should have your employer have your employer, just type it in. You have your employer write or type up a statement. So-and-so is working at a restaurant. They're going to be done at 11:30. Occasionally, they're going to be driving home, right? If you go into a sporting event, you want to have those safeguards. You could get a warning. Some police may pull you over. Everyone is different, okay? All right, keep going, tapping in. I'm going to keep going. This is a lot of stuff, and I can go through this. I don't want the class to be going over a rule. I want the class to be you taking care of this. You have 127 questions to do. I'm going over this because I know it's on the test, and I'm very thorough. And if you don't study for your test, you're going to fail a really easy test, and I'll be seeing you next month. You don't want to wait another 30 days or 6 weeks, do you? Some of you are like, man, I failed the test. Okay, most of you will pass. Okay. You just type it into the chat. I have to verify those numbers. I have a roster. I verify your name, your birth date, and your permit issue number. Okay, just type it in. Okay. All right, I'm going to keep going and just put in your questions. All right, I got to keep moving. Got to keep moving. Okay, so look. So basically, you should be in by 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. There's no reason for you to be out after 10. You're under 20. You're high school students. Your job simply should understand this. If your job doesn't carry you at the wrong job, you're going to make a bunch of money, but you're going to fall asleep at the car. your grades are going to suffer. Your grades are number one most important, not trying to make money. You're like, you're crazy. Well, if your grades are terrible, then you won't get into a good college. You can have a bunch of money, but you're going to limit your income potential, and you're going to fall asleep at the wheel. Where do young driver fatal car crashes occur? 68% occur on country roads. 6% occur on interstates. A lot of you don't do deep drives. Going to Chicago, going to Indiana, going to New York, going to Iowa. You might drive 45 minutes. You have to do a deep drive to really get the car going. Thank you. 95% of all young driver fatal car crashes happen at 55 or less. So this means you're going under 55. School parking lot, you back out, you hit someone. You make a left turn, you then check, you hit a bicyclist. You make a right turn, you didn't look properly to the right, you hit someone and they're injured. I'm just giving you real life situations, okay? It doesn't have to be like fog on the road, you can't see, and then boom, you hit a truck. Let's keep going. 14% occur on roadways where there's a speed limit of 35 or less. 71% of young driver fatal car crashes occur on a section of the roadway where there's no traffic control device in effect. It could be a four-way stop. You don't stop. It could be a traffic light that's not working. You panic. 10% of young driver fatal car crashes happen on roadways where a traffic device is in effect. The student I was driving yesterday, if I didn't turn the wheel to the left, we would have hit a pole, broke the axles to the car. We would have crashed. He didn't mean to do it, but he doesn't have experience. He shouldn't be driving. And that's the thing you guys need to realize. Don't be in a hurry to get injured. 47% of young driver fatal car crashes occur while driving a vehicle in a straightaway. Let's keep going. 10% of young driver fatal car crashes happen on the curb. You're going in too fast. 8% occur on left turns. You misjudge. 17% occur at stop signs. You don't stop. Young drivers plus passengers equal risk. The risk of fatal car crashes involves 16-year-olds increased by 40% if one passenger's in the car. If you have your friend in the car, it's going to increase by 40%. Why? We are social. We love talking. If you have two passengers, it's 86%. Please underline this. Please highlight it. Please write it down. If you have three people, it's at 182%. For 17-year-old drivers, comparable risks are 48% with one passenger, 158 with two, and 207. So the number does go up. Approximately 1/3 of all fatal car crashes involving young novel drivers. The novel drivers killed. You didn't wear your seatbelt. You ran a light. You were driving in fog. You made a left turn. You made a right turn. You didn't see the curb. The car went up. You hit a tree. That could have happened to us last night. I don't think about it. I just grabbed the wheel and turned the wheel to the left. But I should have not had to do that for him. But I did. That means he wasn't ready to drive. In fatal car crashes involving young drivers, approximately 2/3 of those killed are the passengers. So basically, you killed your friend accidentally. You didn't mean to do it. Other drivers are pedestrians, with occupants of young drivers' vehicles accounting for 49% of fatalities. I'm not the bearer of bad news. I tell the truth. This is your age group. The state has made you take this. In Ohio and in Florida, they're mandating people up to 21 years old come back and take an additional class. I want you to type in the type of car you are driving, the year, make, and model. Again, I want you to type in the year, make, and model of the type of car you are driving. Please
Dad.
do that right now. Don't call dad. You should know what type of car you're driving. Again, type in the year, make, and model of the type of car you're driving. Take a moment, do that. The year, make, and model. Okay? Now, there's crash data here, but we're going to go deeper. We're going to find out which cars safest. We're going to find out which cars you're driving are not the safest. Again, please don't be mad at your parents. Again, please don't be mad at your parents, because this vehicle type gives you a perspective of the year, make, and model. Okay, once you put your models in, I'm going to copy it. I'm going to put it into a program, and it's going to tell me how safe your car is, which is the safest, what are some of the common problems, just to give you insight. Your parents are trying to do the best that they can. So I'm going to go over this data, then I'm going to cut and paste the top of car you're driving in, and then we're really going to look at it. Okay? I really want you to think, what am I thinking about? Drive slower, use your blinker, quit driving real fast, leave more space, leave earlier, don't leave late like most high school students do, don't speed to work like most, okay? Don't leave at the last second, grab your backpack, forget your work, forget your phone, right? Leave earlier, get up earlier, okay? What type of vehicles are young drivers driving? In fatal crashes involving young drivers, 56% are driving cars 10 years old or older. Okay. And fatal car crashes involving young drivers, 16% are driving vehicles 15 years old or older. Unfortunately, less than half of young drivers are driving the types of vehicles recommended for them for a mid-size or large-size passenger car. Teenage vehicle owners, you have your own car. You're more likely to drive more miles, take more risk, running lights, speeding, cutting off cars, whipping it on the freeway, whipping it off, because you have your own vehicle and you assume more risk. If you're driving mom or dad's second or third car, oh, that's my mom's car, I can't do that. Oh, that's my dad's car, I can't do that. So what I need you to do, again, all of you need to put the year, make, and model so I can give you a real perspective. We're doing good. I got about 5 more pages, and then you're going to be working for the next 45 minutes on your questions, and then I'll show you some videos. So again, I need you to put the year, make, and model of the car or truck or whatever vehicle you are driving so we can do some crash statistic data to help you, because this says it, but I need you to have a greater sense of responsibility, having on your seatbelt, keeping more space. So go ahead and do that for me right now. I'm going to stop the share for a second and let's copy this. second. I'm running some information right now. All right, let's go ahead and talk about some of these vehicles to help you. And what I did, I went and discussed some of this information. So let's look at it. These are some of the vehicles you gave me. The safest vehicles based on crash test data, right? These vehicles are good balance of safety, visibility, practicality, making them popular choices for new drivers. Okay, this is all based on the IIH top picks for safety. The Mazda CX-30 is a very good vehicle. The Mazda CX-5, this is a subcompact. It's known for safety. The Honda Passport, redesigned 2026 model. It's also a safe vehicle. The Honda i5, it's an electric vehicle. It's known for safety. The Subaru hatchback, safety. The Toyota RAV4. Let's talk about the Mazda 3. It's a hatchback, 10 out of 10. The Honda Civic earned 10 out of 10. So let's talk about what you guys put in. Some of you mentioned a 2022 or 2021 Ford Explorer 2018. Okay, they're popular. They're known for safety, right? The Honda Passport has a strong reputation of safety, similar models. The Jeep Compass, 2016, 2014 Wrangler, they offer many capable vehicles. They're especially the older models rate. The Wrangler is critical for safety ratings, but lacks some advanced features, okay? Why driving after 10 p.m. is allowed? Question mark. Yes, there is a way you can drive after 10 p.m. It depends on your age, your license type, and your state law. Again, it depends on your age. It depends on your license type. Are you level 1? Are you level 2? Are you level 3? Level 3, you're 17. And your state law. Okay? All states have a graduated license law. The system is different stages. Learner's permit, intermediate, and full license. You guys don't have your full license. You're past your permit. You're in the middle. Nighttime driving restrictions due to the intermediate stage. That's you. Okay. The goal is to limit driving during the highest risk for teens. That's all of you. The example, I was driving a teen yesterday. He almost crashed into the curb. If I didn't turn the wheel, it would have been a bad outcome. Again, I'm being real with you. Okay. And I have 15 minutes and then I'm done and you gonna work. So let me continue. So nighttime driving is dangerous. You have the potential to fall asleep. The goal is to limit nighttime experience. We're going to give you some examples. Restrictions may vary by state. Example, in Maine, nighttime driving is restricted it's restricted midnight to 5 a.m. So if we lived in Maine, you could drive up to midnight. After midnight, you better be home. I don't know. Why would you want to drive at 11? Why would you want to drive at 11:40? You should be home asleep, just hanging out, getting in trouble. In Delaware, the restriction starts early, 10 p.m. In Arizona, midnight to 5 a.m. How to drive past 10 p.m. You need to meet the requirements based on your state. This involves reaching a certain age, 17 or 18. I just talked about that. Holding an intermediate license for a set amount of time, 6 months or 12 months. All of you have different birthdays. Why do these rules exist? Teens, I want to know why. How come I can't do this? How come I can't do that? Crash risk. Why do rules exist? Okay, it's not just about a law, it's about safety. And that's what a lot of you don't understand. Crash risk goes up at night for all drivers, but especially high for inexperienced teens due to factors like fatigue, reduced visibility, and peer influence. Well, it was he and I in the car. I don't think he was tired, but he definitely couldn't see. So reduced visibility almost afforded us a crash. So you need to look that up. So what I'm going to do is stop here. You need to type what you learned in the chat. Again, type what you learned in the chat. Avery, I love for you to like turn on your light so we can see you. You feel me? Right? You got to turn on the light. I'm just following rules. Avery, can you turn on the light so we can see you? Turn it on. I shouldn't have to ask. Come on. Why do we have to go through this? Why am I doing this? Why don't the teens listen? Because they want to be in the dark. I'm following rules. I shouldn't have to ask you, but I'm following the rules. Clocking that T every day. Follow the rules, guys. Have your lights on. Okay. Information. Your parents are trying to do their best. Some of your cars and trucks have weak headlights. Some of the cars and trucks don't have the newest safety features. You're just happy to drive. Okay. We're going to give your parents grace. Girl, you gonna drive this 2010? If not, then you're not. Okay, thank you, mom and dad. Boy, you're gonna drive this 2017. Thank you, mom and dad. Girl, you're gonna drive this 2021. Thank you, mom and dad. Honey, you're gonna drive this 2010 truck. Thank you, mom and dad. Okay, so if you have an older car, there's some things you can do. Change out the headlights to brighter headlights. Okay. Make sure that your car is mechanically sound, good brakes, good tires. Now, I'm not doing that. Well, you're going to run into something. The headlights are the biggest things. Make sure you have a clean windshield, good windshield wiper blades. My dad does that. My mom does that. You need to know how to do that. Don't drive when you're tired. I'm not tired. Well, you're taking 3 AP classes. You got a quiz tomorrow, and you're taking driver's ed. And you going to a party on Friday. I guess you're going to fall asleep in driver's ed. It's not that important. I guess you're going to sleep before you go to the prom. You're going to be late. I guess you're going to sleep before you go to the party. Your friends are texting you. You just fell asleep. So you can't put sleep off because you're going to fall asleep in the car. Or you're going to fall asleep in class. Or you're going to fall asleep in driver's ed. Okay? Your age group needs 8 to 10 hours of sleep, but you don't get it. So, well, I'll drink an energy drink. No, you'll crash. I'll just try to stay up. No, you're going to fall asleep in the second hour. I like going over that information. I thought it was vital. I'm going to stop here because you have some work to do, and I'm going to show you this. And then after you get these questions done, we're going to do a couple quizzes. You'll see a couple of videos, and we'll go from there. So again, I asked you to type in what you learned. I went over some vital questions on the test. I told you some things you needed. I told you to put in information. I told people to turn on their lights. The session, it's recorded. You know, people just don't want to listen, but it is what it is. I always speak truth. I won't lie to you. Okay, you have some work to do. You see these questions? 137 questions? Guess what? You're going to do all these questions, and we're going to correct these questions the next session. Let me go over some of these questions with you. I'm just reading. Okay. They talk about approaching a curve. Okay. You're stopped at a red light. When an emergency vehicle is coming through, you should be doing so. I'm just looking at some random questions. They're talking about making right turns. They talk about blind spots. Losing control of your emotions. Your brain is not developed until you're 25 or 26. You can look it up if you don't believe me. So you're going to do erratic things. You're going to scream at the dance because you got embarrassed. You're going to get in a fight with someone because they posted a video. The driver must always keep in mind age group influenced by a person. You got to know what that is. Don't respond, don't engage. You need to know about the 3 types of road rage: aggression, violence, and total aggression. If you don't know this, you're going to fail. I'm just highlighting a few things. I don't have to do this because I'm showing you a pattern. The first thing you should do if the vehicle in front of you signals or flashes its brake lights, you should be able to answer this. Self-imposed anxieties. Crash risk. I just went over this. For 16-year-olds, the risk of crash involvement increases if you have 3 or more passengers. You always should be able to answer this question without even thinking. Aggressive driving. Distractions. Rubbernecking. If you don't know what rubbernecking is, you better read through your packet. Kinetic energy or centrifugal force. Straddling. When we were on the I-94 corridor, a car was straddling the center line. They were doing something very aggressive. The first principle in controlling the consequences of a crash is to avoid the largest single category error for young drivers is, you should be able to answer this immediately. Research indicate blank accounts for the larger percentage of young driver fatal car crashes. You should be able to see a pattern. I went over 10 pages. For every 500 miles driven, the average driver has at least one blank. Which of the following is a self-imposed anxiety related to aggressive driving? On which 2 days of the week do most young driver fatal car crashes occur? You should be able to tell me this without even thinking. So I just highlight a few of the questions that'll help you, and we're trying to get a majority of those right. Heavy rain, skidding, the 3 degrees of aggressive driving. The blank is the term used to describe the area of the vehicle that absorbs the shock. Lack of driving experience is the largest category for young driver crashes. Is distracted driving. If you can't control your emotions, something bad is going to happen. BAC. How can being tired behind the wheel affect your driving ability? What's the best way to deal with someone's road rage? Distracted driving is defined. Okay, I'm printing a roster out. You have something to do. I need you to answer those 137 questions. Get it done. We'll go over some. We'll do some quizzes. Get it done. Guys, that was a great session. You can see a lot of people aren't taking it. I know it's a lot. A lot of people aren't taking driving serious. As a result, you can see why this age group crashes. You can see why this age group makes a lot of mistakes. They are overconfident. Their brain is not fully developed. And if you have a niece or nephew, you need to be driving with them. You're like, hold on, I need to come with. Okay. The driver I was driving yesterday, he literally almost hit the curb to the right. The car literally almost went up in the air and hit a pole. This is what I do every day. And you're wondering, I don't want to have your job, bro. I don't want you to have my job. Right? You think about that. It's real. Okay. And I'm not making this up. This is what I do. You don't always see everything. I just give you a small glimpse. And I'm keeping it real with you. 100% real. And some of these cars these kids are driving are not the best. I didn't really want to say that, but I'm having a private conversation with you. You want your niece or nephew in a full-size vehicle. A lot of metal. They're going to be speeding, going fast. Some of those small subcompact cars and trucks are death traps. The biggest thing is having good headlights. Make sure they have good tires and brakes. Driving with them at night, in the rain, in the snow, in the fog. Some of you live in areas where you get a lot of snow. I live in the Midwest. We got warm weather this week, but guess what? It's going to drop down to the 30s next week. Make sure your niece or nephew's car has good windshield wiper blades. They have windshield wiper fluid, good tires. All drivers have the potential to speed, be reckless. Younger drivers have a tendency to do it at a higher rate. And the higher rate is what's deadly. And compound that with a breakup, embarrassment on the internet, being in a group chat, or getting kicked out from the group chat. Because we've all been young once. Social is so important. I want to belong to a group. In my group, I was the jock, okay, hanging out with the football team. But I knew, because my mom and dad set a standard, boy, you better bring home good grades. Don't have me have to come up there and talk to the teacher. You feel me? I'm like, okay. They came up one time in middle school. It was a wrap. Mom came up, sweating, talked to my teacher, told dad. Dad came home, whop, 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 over. I never had bad grades ever again. I'm telling you the truth. Some of you don't even realize what I'm saying. Some of you are like, you need to speak more truth. You got to be close to your kids. A lot of parents just don't have the time, and it's really overwhelming and incredible to me that you don't have the time to help your son or daughter learn how to drive. And when you're young, you think you have the world in your hands. It's called a kryptonite quotient. Look it up if you don't believe me. You think you're indestructible. You think nothing bad will happen. And bad things do happen. And I'm going to reach into an email. Be patient with me. And I'm going to share some information with you because, yes, here it is. Towards zero deaths. The goal of zero fatalities and serious injuries on roads is through the implementation of a safe driving approach. Since last week, 11 people have died on our roads, making a total of 127 this year. Because I'm an instructor, I get these type of newsletters. And I always share this with you because it's very somber, it's very sad, and it's really important that you understand. In addition, 61 more were seriously injured statewide, making a total of 615. Compared to last year, there are 8 fewer fatalities, which is good, and there are 8 fewer serious injuries, which is good. Okay. I'm just cutting and pasting some information. Please be patient with me because I'm really trying to get some good information for you. Be patient with me. I'm always trying to find the newest information, and part of my goal is to help you become great drivers. And I'm trying to build a document library one day, and I can just share this with you. All right, here we go. Give me 1 second here. All right. Okay. How to handle roadside emergencies. Roadside emergencies such as motor vehicle crashes, running out of gas, flat tires can be unexpected and stressful. I remember as a young driver having my first flat tire. I'm like, oh crap. But I took automotive shop. But a lot of schools dropped their automotive shop or wood shop or driver's ed, right? Which is sad. I did run out of gas one time. Approximately 1 in 20 pedestrians are killed or seriously injured along the freeway because they're walking, they ran out of gas, and they get hit and killed. This includes construction workers, motorists outside of their vehicles, such as people changing a tire. I remember I was stupid enough to do that a couple of times, but never again. I'll drive that car up the ramp and get it off the expressway. I won't fix a flat tire on the expressway. It's too dangerous. Way, way dangerous. Okay, I'm going to keep going. I'm giving you information. Put your questions in. This is really going to help you. Okay, here we go. So if you are changing a flat tire, you're putting your life in someone else's hand. State police get hit and killed all the time. Motorists get hit and killed all the time. Tow truck drivers get hit and killed all the time. According to Vulnerable Road Safety Use Assessment, for your safety as well as the safety of emergency responders and other road users, it is important to be prepared in the event of a roadside emergency. Generally, the safest thing to do if you're involved on a roadside emergency is to stay in the car. Stay buckled until help arrives. Okay? If you're involved in a crash, it is important to first see if you can safely make it to the next exit without stopping. Remember I talked about that? If you cannot drive or move out of the way, pull over as far to the shoulder as possible to create more distance between yourself and oncoming traffic. Steer in clear. The law states that if a driver is involved in a minor collision where there is no one injured, the vehicle must be moved off of the road to improve safety and prevent the secondary crash. Turn on your hazards to alert other drivers. Stay in your vehicle. If you get out, watch for oncoming traffic for a good time to exit. And remember, the closer you are to a vehicle, try to avoid turning your back to traffic when possible. Call local law enforcement for assistance if needed. In an emergency, call 911. Low key, I almost hit the 911 on my phone this morning. I was scared. I did hit it one time. 911? I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I was so scared. We all have that 911 on our phone. It does work. Motorists must report a crash that involves a motor vehicle crash or injury that causes more than $1,000 in damage. As a reminder, moving your vehicle to a safe place on the shoulder or nearby exit or parking lot is not leaving the scene of a crash. So again, if you move your car off the shoulder or to a parking lot, it is not considered leaving the scene of a crash. If your vehicle is disabled, out of gas, or disabled, put your vehicle in park. Activate your vehicle's emergency flashers. Call for roadside assistance or a family member or friend to bring you some gas. Occasionally, you see people doing that. I'm like, they ran out of gas? I've cut it low too. Fuel range, 47 miles. I can make it. Fuel range, 78 miles. I can make it. Sometimes it's an incorrect reading. You'll run out. I've ran out before a couple times. It's scary. Stay in your vehicle with your seatbelt buckled while you wait. If you get out of your vehicle to change your tire, for example, make sure you and the part of your vehicle working do not face traffic. To prepare for the unexpected, motorists should keep an emergency preparedness kit. Your kit should include the following items: batteries, flashlight, phone charger, water, non-perishable food, blanket, first aid kit, and jumper cables. Move over laws. A lot of states do have this move over law, so we're going to go over this right now. Motorists are required to slow down and move over for a secondary emergency vehicle with their lights activated. Slow down at least 10 miles below the posted speed limit, for example. Slow at least 60 if the speed limit is 70. We're talking about emergency prepared kit. We're talking about a move over law. Fully move your vehicle over one open lane if possible. Weather, road conditions, slow down at least 10 below the posted speed limit to pass with caution. The law applies to the following vehicles: police, fire, rescue, ambulance, road service, tow trucks, road maintenance, utility, solid waste haulers. Violations. So we need to hear this here. Violations. Violating the move over law with an emergency vehicle is a civil infraction. 2 points and $400 fine. I like keeping my money, and I definitely don't need points. Violating the move over law when a solid vehicle collection, a garbage truck, utility vehicle, road maintenance is a misdemeanor. If the violation causes a death of an officer, firefighter, or other emergency responder, the motorist faces up to 15 years in prison and or a $7,500 fine. If the violation causes injury to a police officer, firefighter, emergency responder, the motorist could face up to 2 years in prison and or a $1,000 fine. If you're driving past the scene of a crash, use caution. When passing the vehicle parked on the shoulder, if possible, slow down. Move over to pass, even if the vehicle looks abandoned. Use hand-free, call 911 or local police, or safely exit the vehicle, pulling into a safe area to park and then call for help. First responders are trained to assist others, but if you must stop to help, take extreme caution. I helped an old lady one time. She had a flat tire. My friend and I got out. We pushed the car to the gas station, quarter of a block away, and we changed the tire for the lady. She's like 80. We helped. That's what people are supposed to do. First responders are trained to assist. Activate your flashers. Park the vehicle as far off to the shoulder as possible. Try and stand on the opposite side of the vehicle than traffic. If weather conditions are bad, snow, ice, rain, fog, this can increase the distance needed to stop. When drivers are in adverse weather conditions, slow down. Emergency kit. Keep an emergency preparedness kit in your vehicle. If you get out of your vehicle to retrieve it, doing so and return to your vehicle with a blanket, batteries, flashlight, phone charger, water, non-perishable food, blanket, first aid kit, and jumper cables. Hopefully this was helpful. I need you to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, leave comments. Bye.